everyone. We are so excited to be here with you today to have a conference on how to become a better leader. My name's Sarah Golding, international consultant and part of the company 𝐓𝐸. And I'm here with my great colleague, Jorge Carvajal. I'm here in Australia. Jorge is over in Mexico. So right now, live international conferencing. Jorge, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. I'm great. You know, this is an honor for me to be part of this international conference, where we are going to talk about the key elements to be a better leader. We will analyze and study different methodology and models that will help us to get this new level of leadership.
And it's really important that we always have a mindset of how we can improve as leaders, how we can become better leaders. I'm sure in Mexico, things are maybe a little bit different to here in Australia. What's leadership like in Mexico, Jorge, for example?
Well, here in Mexico, as in Latin America, there is the wrong idea about the meaning to be a leader. It's very common to find people who think that because they manage an area, they are leaders. This is very far from reality. Some people don't know how to be a leader. Most of the time, they don't worry about developing skills that help them to better manage their work team. Words like motivate, develop people, coaching, don't exist in the dictionary of some people who manage areas. For this reason, it's so important this kind of conference and course where people can develop new skills for their life.
Exactly. Really, what we work with clients on is that there are so many different kinds of leadership, right? As you're saying, some people are very strict. They run, their leadership style is like as if they were in the army, versus a lot of other people who have a different kind of group mentality when it comes to leadership. So today, really, we just wanted to talk to you about some fundamentals about what is leadership and also to give you some insights as to how you can become a better leader. So, Jorge, we might get started then?
Yes, Sarah, I'm ready. Let us start.
Great. So this first question, what is leadership, seems like a really basic one, right? But it's really important that we understand this first fundamental question before we go on. So we at 𝐓𝐸 talk about leadership as being two things. We talk about it as being a position and we talk about it as being an attribute. So let me explain those things. Within companies, there are leadership positions. So whether people are ready or not, sometimes they find themselves in a position that is a leadership position. They're looking after a team, maybe they're looking after a whole department in a company, right? And they have to become leaders. The second aspect is that we talk about leadership as an attribute. So what this means is that at any level of a company, of a business, even in the community, we talk about people having leadership attributes. We talk about these people as being sort of charismatic and someone that you want to follow.
In this moment, when you have this person in front of you, the leader has to explain to the person that all is okay, relax, go on talking. So the person who thought that was to live a bad moment in that office begins to relax. Why is this important? Because it's necessary for the ideas to flow. In this moment, the leader used the first letter G. For example, if this person, his name is Peter. Okay, Peter, I understand that you have an important situation in your area. Let us analyze. What is goal of your area? So this person will begin to talk about the objective of his area and the key indicators. Going the next step, use the second letter R, reality. Exactly, Peter. That are the objective of your area. Right now, tell me what happened. In this moment, Peter is going to talk about the situation, and as he feels comfortable, he will talk with every detail. When this person finishes talking, is the moment of using the tier letter O, options. Okay, Peter? So which options do we have? What do you think that we can use? This moment is essential because the person begins to say solution. And with this, you can use the letter W. What next? Perfect, Peter. That are great ideas. So what you need? You want that the high direction is with you? Generally, the person will say, no thanks. I'm going to talk with my team and resolve all this afternoon. You know why? Because this person is motivated and empowered.
Okay, so this question is an important one. What are some of the common traits, the common types of personalities that we say great or good leaders have? And today I want to talk to you about probably the three most important characteristics that we really try to work with people on. And the first, which is probably not surprising, is self-confidence. So being a leader, you have to be able to motivate the people that are following you, right? And people want to see that you are self-confident. Now, be careful because this doesn't mean arrogance. Self-confidence here means that you're sociable, you know how to talk to people, you get excited by the topic that you're talking about, and you're quite assertive. So in a very humble way, you can make decisions and you can work with a huge range of people to guide those people towards an objective. And really, that's the core of being a leader, right? So the second trait that we talk about is that you're empathetic. So in great leaders, usually they have a very strong tendency towards people feel like they can trust them. People feel like they want to be with them because as a leader, they understand where other people are coming from. They can see how other people are reacting to certain things. So we talk about this quality of empathy as being a really important one when we talk about being a good leader. And thirdly, but very importantly, emotional stability. Now, most people want leaders that are relatively stable emotionally, as opposed to a leader that might be one day really happy, the next day angry, and you don't know who you're talking with. So that gives people doubt that the person actually knows what they're doing and knows what the objective is. Whereas if you are a
Okay, how do leaders communicate their ideas? Okay, this topic is so important. I remember that one day I was in a meeting in a company where I worked for many years, and during the meeting I really didn't understand the idea that our boss tried to communicate us. However, I thought to myself, don't worry, when we finish this meeting, I'm going to talk to a co-worker. I remember I asked a friend named Torres, hey friend, so what is the idea? He answered, George, I understood nothing. I can see that the way how the idea was presented, it didn't have any logic. Because of this, a leader must know how to communicate idea. First, he must define the final message. So in this moment, when he has this one, he begins to work the order of the topics to arrive to that final message. For example, if the leader wants to begin a project of internal quality audits, for example, okay, but this project is surprise to other areas and he needs that people sign voluntarily, okay. So the final idea is, well guys, sign up because we need this. But the first topic would be that it's important to audit the quality process of the areas to improve the key indicators. Another important point here is how to answer. For example, if this leader is talking about this internal audit and someone has an objection about the topic and express their idea, it's very important to know how to answer, how a leader would answer. For example, someone say, that is no problem. This company should contract people outside. Only imagine if the leader answered, you are wrong. That is a bad idea. So imagine to keep the communication channels open with one phrase like that. Okay, I understand your point of view. First, later, express the idea as a leader without using words as such as however or but. For example, a good answer. It's important to understand that the quality audits are conductive for people who work in the same company. Moreover, you can research or talking to other co-workers who work in other companies and they have internal audits. Here you can see.
Now here is a question that we get all the time working with our clients. Have you ever heard people ask the question, but are leaders born or can this be learned? You might have also heard people say, oh, that guy or that woman, she is a born leader. So what do we tell our clients? Now, we believe that there are some people born or they grow up with a certain kind of personality that lends them to be better leaders. They're confident, they're maybe extroverted, they have a passion for something. And you'll see people who, from even younger age, they have these personality traits. Now, often these people can go on to become really great leaders. However, we strongly believe that if you really want to improve and you really commit to certain things, you can learn some absolute key personality traits. These are things like, for example, how you communicate with people, learning how to use your voice, learning how to structure your message so that your followers really understand exactly what you're doing. And it's also about learning how just to talk to people, learning how to understand where they're coming from. Again, how to then communicate back to them so that you're talking with them on their level. So there are a range of skills and activities that you can do to actually become a better leader.
Okay, how can leaders make their companies more productive? Okay, although you don't believe this is very easy. Why? When a leader wants to improve the productivity, they must work with a process focus. How? It's simple. A process focus looks to show that there is always a provider in every area, in every process. So what does this mean? That there is an input. I don't know. It depends the process or area. This input can be a folder, a print, a fruit, I don't know. So the area must begin to work with this input and someone must check it. Later, someone must work this input which was checked. And finally, this work must be validated by someone. When this work was validated, this is a product. This product has a client who can be another area or the final client. A simple example, if a person makes orange juice, this is a process. Why? Simple. First, the person buys the orange to provider. Later, he decides to make a juice. He takes the fruit, check it, later he cut, and finally he squeezes the orange to make a juice. The final client is himself. Okay, why should a leader to work with a process focus? If this leader knows to apply this structure in his company, people will work better. understanding the importance of checking, working, and validating, and that every area or process has a client or several clients into the company and outside.